Ampersand Families is a licensed child placing agency in Minnesota. We do adoptions of older children and work with both youth and families from throughout the state.
We as an agency are all about bringing more voices to the table, bringing kids to the table. We're about adding and expanding and including in that youth's circle of support people that they already know.
I mean, it's strictly trying to get older kids out of the foster care system into permanent families.
There are all these teens out there who need families.
These young people are super complex.
But the kids are so remarkable.
Conversation, or they read, or they, do fabulous writing and art and all that.
And you can't meet these kids and not be moved by them because they're just these remarkable, strong young adults who are trying to figure out who they are in a world where they have no idea who they are because they've been moved around so much.
They're also incredibly vulnerable.
Ready? Ready? No, I'm not ready. Yep, okay, ready?
I think, and that is a trait for families that I think it's hard to prepare them for when you're right face to face with that level of vulnerability.
That's one of the reasons that I personally also really like working with teenagers, is they're at a point in their life where they're trying to figure out, who am I and where do I belong? That's a tough question to answer when you feel like you don't belong anywhere.
The situation, as far as we're concerned, is a crisis. The outcomes for young people who age out or emancipate out of foster care without some sort of permanent committed family are atrocious all over this country.
You're looking at homelessness, addiction, pregnancy, incarceration.
These are not good outcomes for individuals or for the community.
You think of the ripple effect of kids aging out of foster care.
Our kids, lots of them, are expected to completely take care of themselves financially and emotionally and otherwise at 18. And it's just not real. It's not realistic for the most privileged of our citizens, and it's absolutely not realistic for young people who've been raised in the child welfare system. It's just not.
That it is simply wrong that there are so many teenagers who are aging out of the foster care system in this country.
I mean, we are looking for families for kids, not kids for families, which also is a very different orientation. That we want to get to know a lot of families and what their strengths are and what their challenges are and what type of kid they could be really good parent or parents for.
They're a little bit edgier.
Are more like Ozzy Osbourne than Ozzy and Harriet.
If something isn't going right for their kid, they're gonna ask a lot of questions and get the right answers so that their kid can succeed.
And at Ampersand, we look for ways to screen people in. What are your gifts? What are the things about you that would make you a really strong parent for some kid? What ends up happening is they build a community between themselves. I mean, a lot of our families know each other and spend time together, and they are becoming some of the strongest advocates for older kid adoption. It's pretty amazing, this community that's being built around Ampersand Families.
So it is important work on many levels.
There's a top 10 list of, top 10 reasons to adopt a teenager, and that youth wrote, and the top one is no diapers. And then there's things like they can help us use our electronics, figure out how to program our cell phone, figure out how to put music on an MP3 player.
You get your own little, you can adopt a geek squad.
You can adopt, it's basically your own in-home geek squad. It's true.